For most children, being born in Nepal means starting the fight for survival. Half the children under 5 are malnourished, and this is one of the leading causes of death for this age group. Most of the girls never finish primary school, and thousands are sold into indentured servitude. In 1990, Olga Murray made a promise to do something about this. And for the last 2 decades, that's exactly what she's been doing.
Nayab have always encouraged me to fulfill my desire. There were so many people who used to love me, and still they love me so much.
Sita was a little beggar girl at a temple and begged with her father. I saw the room that they lived in. It was a horrible, horrible place. Just a concrete room, and then monkeys from the temple running through the room. So we asked her father if we could bring her to K House. We had just opened our home for girls, and he consented. And he came to see her a number of times, and one Saturday he did not come, and he didn't come the next Saturday. And we sent somebody out to the temple to find out where he was, and we discovered he had committed suicide. When he knew that his little girl was safe, he killed himself. And it was very, very difficult for her because she really loved her father. She's in college now, her first year bachelor's degree at the best school for social work in Nepal.
Whenever we walk in the street, we can see the street children who are lagging behind from opportunities. So I think there's so many children like me around the country.
When I joined Nepal Youth Foundation in '95, core program was the 2 children's home, J House and K House. We take all the kids based on humanitarian need to protect the child from any kind of harm. And then once they come to us, they become our children.
Just like in a family, you wouldn't threaten to toss your child out of the house if they have misbehaved, and it gives them a sense of security. They know they're going to grow up there.
We support them all the way through high school through bachelor's degree. We don't leave them until we make sure the child is safe or making a decent living.
Sometimes I feel guilty because I'm just the loving parent who never scolds them, never disciplines them. Other people do that, and my role is just to love them and listen to them. And these kids have formed themselves into a tight-knit family, and they help each other in a way that is one of the most satisfying things that I can think of in my life.
In the rural districts of Nepal, many families cannot afford to send their children to school. NYF scholarships are now providing many of these children with an education and helping them to find their way out of poverty. The cost is only about $100 a year. Scholarships are also given to disabled children who are often believed to be cursed.
I was born in a small village of Western Nepal, and my parents, they were not thinking about my education because as a blind child, they always used to think, I can do nothing in my life. In Nepalese society, people have a lot of superstitious beliefs. If you do something wrong in your past life, as a result, you got your child with a disability or something bad. So I was treated as a result of bad work of my parents in their previous life.
Ramchandra can only see shadows, but this allows him some independence. He received a scholarship from NYF when he was 9 years old and was able to attend a school for the blind in Pokhara. He now has a bachelor's degree in sociology and rural development.
So now I can tell other people I'm living my life with dignity, with self-esteem, and with great empowerment. I can proudly say to my society, I'm a productive citizen of this country. Education gave me empowerment and independence. And my education started with NYF.
To address the problem of malnutrition, NYF came up with a unique solution. They partnered with the government hospitals to establish nutrition rehabilitation centers across Nepal. But once the facilities were up and running, they required the hospitals to take them over within 5 years.
What we succeeded in doing is creating hospitals in different parts of the country dedicated solely to malnourishment of children and the education of their mothers, and the government will run it, which is what we wanted in the first place.
When a mother arrives at NRS with her malnourished babies, we have two sets of activities simultaneously going on. The first set is, of course, to restore the health of that baby. The second set of activities is to educate the mother in nutrition and how to cook food without losing nutrients. We feed the baby no vitamins or anything. We just use the local materials. And in 4 weeks' time, most of the kids, they get recovered.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh.
One of NYF's latest projects is a home for children and parents who are infected with HIV/AIDS. This facility provides a safe house for families who have been forced to leave their villages. NYF helps the mothers maintain good health by teaching them proper child care and nutrition. All the medical needs and ARV medications are provided by the government hospital.
And the mothers are happy. They feel very comfortable there because there is no stigma associated here. And after living here for 3 months, the child gets healthy. You don't believe they're looking at their eyes that this kid is carrying HIV/AIDS. Our aim is to provide them comfortable life as long as they live.
1, 2, 3.
Since Olga founded NYF in 1990, they have rescued tens of thousands of children from disease, malnutrition, homelessness, illiteracy, and severe oppression. But perhaps the most dramatic example of NYF's success is the Indentured Daughters Program. This program was created to stop the practice of kamlari, the selling of young girls into bonded servitude. In just 10 years, NYF has rescued over 11,000 kamlari girls from slavery. The program has not only helped to enforce the law, it has changed how people think.
The practice of kamlari is associated with many different aspects of the society. It is a cultural practice. It is a result of the poverty. It is a result of the weak law enforcement of the state. And it is also a result of the feudal mindset of the Nepalese middle class.
यसरी सहरबाट मान्छेहरूलाई तिम्रो छोरी मलाई देऊ काम गर्नको लागि अनि हामी पढाइदिन्छौँ लेखाइदिन्छौँ भनेर एकदमै लोभ लालच देखाएर चाहिँ त्यसैमा आउँदाखेरि चाहिँ 6 वर्षको थिएँ राम्रोसँग थाहा पनि पाउँदैन मलाई अलिकति मात्रै याद छ कि हाम्रो दाङमा एउटा राप्ती नदी छ त्यो तर्ने बेला म तर्न सकिन मेरो दाइले मलाई काखमा बोकेर तराइदिनु भयो म त्यति सानो जब म अरूको काखमा बसेर यस्तो त खोला तरे भनेपछि म अरूको काम के गर्न सक्थे र जस्तो मलाई अहिले चाहिँ फिलिङ्स हुन्छ त्यस्तै नै गर्दा गर्दा अब काठमाडौँमा 1 महिना भयो 2 महिना भयो 1 वर्ष 2 वर्ष गर्दा गर्दा 12 वर्ष बित्यो
Maji Sankranti is a major Hindu holiday. For generations, Maji festivals provided the venue to either negotiate or renew contracts for kamlari. Today, because of NYF's success with the Indentured Daughters Program, Maji has become a venue to help abolish the kamlari practice and promote women's rights. To reach a largely illiterate audience, the freed kamlari use street theater to tell their dramatic stories. Sometimes the spectacle becomes so intense, the audience forgets it's not real. But the point of these stories will not be forgotten. To relieve the economic problem, NYF gave the farmers who were considering selling their daughters a piglet or a goat. At the end of a year, the families can sell the animal for the same amount they would have received for their daughter's labor. And to deal with the political problem, NYF sued the Nepali government for not enforcing its own laws.
I filed a law case in the Supreme Court because as the result of the weak law enforcement, lives of the thousands of girls have been destroyed.
The obligation to send them through high school was a great commitment of funds, and we could not move faster to eradicate the custom because we didn't want to bring the girls home unless we could support them through high school.
The Supreme Court gave a verdict to government, but the government did not listen enough. So we had to bring in 500-600 former Kamlari girls to Kathmandu.
They marched, many in their school uniforms. They carried banners. They chanted. They did street plays along the way. We arranged for appointments with them with the Prime Minister and the President and the UN Human Rights Commissioner. And they stayed here for 4 days and really kicked up a fuss. And shortly after that, the government appropriated $1.6 million for the education of these girls. So we went on a rampage of rescue. We just rescued all the girls that we could find, and between January and April, I think we rescued 4,500 girls just in that period alone.
Most of the INGOs who come here will just look at Nepal as a project. Let's do one thing for a year and then maybe let's change into something else next year. But Olga, in her wisdom, she knows that social change doesn't happen overnight. And the way they have worked with the issue of Kamlari, it has changed attitudes not only among the larger community, but among the families themselves. The way they have valued their daughters, that has changed, and that's a huge change for anyone to be able to initiate in a country like ours.
The thrilling thing about the Indentured Daughters program is not just that we've already brought 11,000 girls home from slavery, but we've turned the community against the practice. So it's not just this generation of girls, it's their daughters and their granddaughters and their great-granddaughters who are going to be saved from this terrible practice. And that's a major accomplishment.
With NYF's support, the rescued girls have formed their own NGO called the Freed Kamlari Development Forum. They are taking over the fight to abolish the Kamlari practice by continuing to organize marches and rallies throughout western Nepal. They're also helping to rescue the remaining Kamlaris with the help of NYF and the local police.
बाबा हामीलाई पैसामा बेच्नुहुन्छ घर व्यवहार चलाउनलाई हामी कुनै जनावर होइन किन हामीलाई पैसामा बेच्नुहुन्छ किन हामीलाई पैसामा बेच्नुहुन्छ.
This time, the woman who had the Kamlari contract was not arrested. Instead, the police required that she sign a contract promising to never exploit an underage girl again. Until NYF brought the Kamlari issue to the Supreme Court, no one had ever made a legal challenge to this custom. To help provide income for the rescued Kamlari, the FKDF has formed a co-op. Some of the girls produce and sell handcrafted bamboo products. Some have started their own tailoring businesses. And some are learning how to process henna, a popular hair dye they hope will be very profitable.
A lot of groups come in here and they want to own an issue and hold it close to their heart and say, only I need to work on it. The NYF doesn't do that. They say, here's an issue, it's very important, and the government has to take it over. And when it leaves the NRHs, it'll still be functioning. So this kind of very strategic design of programs, how do you enter and how do you exit? Now, this is something I think maybe Olga should be writing a book to teach others about how to ensure that the work you do stays on.
NYF's work in Nepal is a powerful example of how self-sustaining programs can drive cultural change. But the work is not finished.
We like to build hostels in West Nepal in an area where children walk up to 4 hours each way to school, 8 hours a day. We'd like to do a major vocational training program because there's a huge amount of unemployment here, a lot of discontent young people, and there is room for employment for skilled workers.
Society is starting to evolve from a very traditional society where people do not have access to health and education to a society where there is more access to health and education. But then after that, what? Already we've seen, the phenomena of massage parlors and dance restaurants were actually in the front for brothels. So what are the strategies that will work for younger people so they can become more productive citizens of the world? Because there's nobody to guide them, nobody to link them to the opportunities.
The women are the secret. You educate a man and he spends the money, most of it on himself. You educate a woman, she spends it on the family. You need to find a practical way out for these people. And for women, I think it's economic empowerment and education.
If I was to look back in my life and say, okay, who are the people who made an impact in my life? Olga would be there right after my grandmother and mother. The kind of honesty, accountability, and openness that, she has been able to maintain throughout the years is not easy in a place like Nepal. And that has set a standard for the rest of people who want to help children in Nepal.
I get a lot more than I give here. When I see what happens to them over the years, or in the case of NRH, over weeks, it's so fulfilling. It makes me want to get out of bed in the morning and start all over again because money goes so far here. When I think what it costs to go to dinner in San Francisco or buy a good dress, I know I can save a child's life for that amount of money here.
हाम्रो राज्यले नै हामीलाई सन्तान नगरिरहेको अवस्थामा राज्यलाई तपाईले चनाखो गराइदिनु भयो कि सरकार यो तेरो सन्तान धनी मात्रै होइन है सुकिला मुकिला मात्रै होइनन् तेरो सन्तान यो यसरी ग्रामीण ठाउँको मान्छे पनि यसरी अरूको घरमा दासी बसिरहेको मान्छे पनि तेरो सन्तान हो पहिलो अभिभावक त हाम्रो जन्म दिएको बुवा आमा तर हाम्रो दोस्रो अभिभावक भनेको एनवाईएफ हो हाम्रो यो रेस्क्यु हुने टाइममा अथवा कुनै पनि काम गर्ने टाइममा यताउता कतै भुलचुक भएको छ भने हामी सम्पूर्ण कमलारीको टिमबाट धेरै धेरै माफी साथै धेरै धेरै धन्यवाद भन्न चाहन्छु।
Please join us in making these life-changing programs possible. Donate online at nepalyouthfoundation.org or call 415-331-8585.